Hello, fifth graders. Today is Wednesday, September 16th. Today we did the next part of our complex and compound sentences. We went through the notes on breaking those sentences apart. I did see that some of you are going ahead of the game. You are welcome to do that, but the explanation is only coming one day at a time. So you may want to take a break from moving ahead there until you make sure you're doing it right. We did do a quick little lesson on deciding which topic you want to land on. For yesterday, I had asked you to come up with 3 possible inventions that you were interested in researching. And today we talked about how to choose the one that's right for you. And then make sure that you are working on your cursive spelling assignment that's due on Friday. You also have a test on Friday. And finally, today we did do, during homeroom, I added in a lesson adding words to our word wall. I'm just going to type them in here really quick to make sure that you know what we're doing too. Basically, in the English language, we spell words all kinds of ways. And so we're putting words on the wall that are words we use all the time. We say them all the time. We can read them really easily. But when we go to spell them, sometimes we can't quite remember the letters because they're not spelled like normal. So your first word is off. And that one is often misspelled because people forget the extra F at the end. The next one is people. I have to think out in my brain people when I want to spell that because it has an extra letter in there that people don't remember sometimes. Because is going on the word wall because it sounds like B-E-C-U-Z, but actually it's because with the A-U and then a silent E at the end. Next you have friends. Friends has a I-E to make a short E sound, so it's kind of hard to remember. If you can remember that you have a friend till the end, that should help you, remind you to put end in your word. Have is going on the list because it's spelled like have. Said is going on the list because it does not look like red and bed. They is going on the list because it sounds like it should be T-H-A-Y, but we have to remember it's E-Y. Until is on the list because it's missing an L. We want to add 2 L's at the end, but we know it only takes 1. Want is going on the list because it kind of sounds like it should have a U or an O where that A is. If we try to sound this word out, it would be like want. And your last word is laugh, and it has an extra letter in there making the short A sound. It's actually just the A that makes that sound. Usually when you have an AU together, it says ah. So we would pronounce this word lof, but that's not how we talk. So those are the words that are added to your word wall. The next thing I want to do is erase this thing. There we go. I guess I've already done this, so I'm just going to zip through it with you. Yesterday, we went, well, first of all, let me tell you, when you open up this document in Kami, if that's what you do, you can click the markup button and you can tell it you want to highlight the text, or you can tell it you want to make a big box and excuse me, pick what color you want, and you can highlight any of the stuff in here and turn it in that way. Excuse me. So yesterday we learned about compound and complex sentences and how to hook them together, and today we did this page. We talked about how to break them apart. So we had the complex sentence, because I ate too many Supreme tacos, comma, I will have to do extra sit-ups and push-ups. And we found the 2 sentences, I ate too many Supreme tacos, and we broke them apart. I will have to do extra sit-ups and push-ups. And this is all written already on your text, but I just want you to go through and highlight, find these broken up sentences in our bigger sentence and highlight them so they match. I want you to notice that because is stuck out here by himself. Let's see. Did it do it? Yeah, it did. Because that's our subordinating conjunction. That's our connecting word for complex sentences. Before is also a connecting word for complex sentences. This helps show the cause-effect relationship. The cause is I ate too much. So the effect is I need to work out more. Here in this sentence, before I mow the overgrown lawn, I make the kids pick up the sticks in the yard. Before is helping show me that some time has gone by. There's a change in time. If I just told you, I mow the overgrown lawn, I make the kids pick up the sticks in the yard, you don't really know which order this is. Or maybe you think that I mow the lawn first and then I make the kids pick up the sticks. So it's important to use complex sentences because it helps explain to people when you're doing what, helps make sure they understand what you want them to know. So we broke that apart into I mow the overgrown lawn and I make the kids pick up the sticks in the yard. It's important to have a word to tell us which one's happening. And then we broke apart some compound sentences. I love all Mexican food, but pork carnitas are my all-time favorite. I have two ideas here. I love all Mexican food. Pork carnitas are my all-time favorite. I connect compound sentences with a comma conjunction. Notice, but is left out of the equation because it's a conjunction. It's not part of one of my two ideas. And then your second one here is I love teaching reading and writing, comma, but I really miss teaching science and math too. And so we can break those apart too. I love teaching and reading and writing. I really miss teaching science and math too. But is our conjunction or our connecting word. And really that's all we had time to do today. We did go down to this is your next page in the assignment. And if you're doing this on the computer, you won't need to do this, but if you have a hard copy, you can flip this little part under so you can't see it, so that all you see on the page is this part. And then tomorrow we're actually going to do this page in class, and then this is how we check our work. It has the answers on it. So you could certainly read this and type it in up here, but I want you to try to come up with it yourself. And these are not the only possible answers. You could write them different ways, but it's just helps give you an idea of what could be written as an answer. So today we did the breaking and making, we did a word wall. Remember to do your cursive spelling. Lesson 6, choosing a topic. On that, we did a couple things. We talked about the rubric on page 1.2. This is actually, I could probably pull it up. I was trying to clean up my classroom. I made a mistake putting this on yesterday. So I re-put the assignment on today. If you want to access it through Kami, everybody should be able to have a copy now. And anyway, so if I click on this and I go to the instructions, I click this thing, it's the second page. You can see that you can get a score of 4 by doing these things in organizing your paper. For ideas and support, you can get a 4 if you do these things. For conventions, that's a fancy word for making sure you don't have any errors in your paper, you can get a 4 if you do these. This rubric also shows why you would get a 3 or a 2 or a 1 for organization, ideas and support, or conventions. Your goal is to get a 4 across the board because this is how your paper is going to be scored and how you're going to get your grade. Today we also talked about our goals. We thought about other writing we've done in other years and tried to think about, well, what did we like about it and what's something we've always struggled with. So they gave us some goals to make sure we do as we're writing this essay. I want you to come up with 2 more, at least 2 more. Things that you've always thought I want to work on, or I always mess this part up, or something you always have a problem with that you want to do better. That would go in these 2 lines. So that is an assignment. the goals page. And then today we filled in the planning chart. I should have just opened this with Cami. Sorry. I think I have a couple more minutes. I can zip this off for you so you can see it. We filled in 2 boxes on the next page. Here it comes. I do want a text box, and I'll use blue because I like it. Here we go, rubric. You can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay, we did that. And then the planning chart is the next page. And we just filled in the prompt. It's taking a long time. Here it comes. We filled in the prompt. Write an expository essay about how an inventor had to work extremely, oopsie daisy, hard to make the idea, oopsie daisy, I probably should have put that in the next line, the idea or an invention a reality. So you are going to be writing about how an inventor came up with an idea and how that idea finally turned into the real invention. That's your goal. Everybody will write this exact same prompt. Then you're also going to fill in this topics side. It says write the topics that interest you and circle the one you chose. So yesterday I asked you to come up with 3 topics that you might want to write about. That's all you put in that box. And then I want you to circle the one that you choose to write about. And when you're thinking about which one you want to write about, look at your topics and think about which one is the one that interests you the most. Good writers also write about things they already know a little bit about. So if you already kind of know about one of them, that would be a good choice. If you just are really curious and inquisitive, then you can certainly pick one that you don't know anything about, but just be aware that you're going to need to do some, maybe a little bit more background reading on that to come up with your information. So tomorrow we'll actually try to start drafting, but today we were just making sure we had all our ducks in a row, and we're continuing to look at sentence structure to make sure that we are ready to have full thoughts when we write our sentences. Have a lovely, hi Chase, have a lovely day. I hope I remembered everything. Don't forget to practice spelling. Don't forget to read every day. And don't forget, what's the other thing? Typetastic? Be practicing typing on Typetastic.